Hey everyone, it's NoodleDog. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever wondered about how you can get better at art? Have you been wondering if there's some advice a certain hound could possibly give you? If so, then this is the video for you. When you're having trouble getting better, there are some tips that many artists will give you, and one of them is to just draw more, or something to that effect. But does that always help? I mean, yeah, it does, but the method to the madness may not always be so obvious, and maybe you might be looking for more ideas on how to improve. If that's the case, I've got a few ideas I'll share that have been helpful to me to this day. I recommend these to others when they're trying to get better at drawing or art in general. If you're ready, let's go ahead and get started. Art is taxing, and continuously working can really cause your creativity to tank. Tip number 1 is super simple. Don't forget to take breaks. Sometimes you get frustrated things aren't coming out right, and that's why you should consider to rest when you get the chance. This will help your body untangle from any frustration, so you can potentially work more efficiently during your next spree of enthusiasm. And while you're relaxing, spend time with your family, or your pets, or do some personal activities. Getting your mind off work can help you come back fresh and ready for more work. But what if you're trying to improve on your off time? Tip number 2 is something that you may be doing subconsciously, but you never actually notice you're doing. If you're a fan of television, games, books, or otherwise, capitalize on your free time by researching what you're interested in. This is especially helpful if you're working on a project or you're interested in how someone you like works. Study how they work on a project from start to finish. See what skills they have and how to emulate those for yourself. If you like my art, for example, perhaps you'd like to look at how I draw a background. Seeing how I construct that background could prove vital for your own background work. Ask questions like, what colors do I use? Do I use large brushstrokes or small brushstrokes? And how do I utilize my canvas space? You can try these things out for yourself then, until you get it right. And if you can, attempting to talk to someone you can reach is also worth a shot too. Research is a really helpful tool when you just can't get what you want right. It's good for all types of art too. I find it helps best when you have a goal to improve a certain skill, and you can focus on fixing that skill up. You can figure out how it best fits you though, and that's the good part. Okay, now you're probably wondering about stuff you can actually use when you're working. If so, I've got something for you. Tip 3 is to keep your observational skills sharp. Whether you like to render faces photorealistically or you just want to be a cartoonist, a sharp eye can discern nuances that can make your work much better. It goes hand in hand with tip 2, but it has other places. If you're drawing from a pose reference, look closely at how the body takes up space, how it may curve or stretch to accommodate the changes in form. Does the body tense up and become taut in some areas, or do they become loose and soft? Those kind of things help you figure out how to accurately render something. This also goes beyond bodies and human figures. Things like plants, rocks, and water, they all have different things you might want to keep a sharp eye out for to make your art look better in the future. If you want a good activity, spend some time looking at something. Study it for a while. When you feel you've got it down, draw it. Don't rush, just draw. And see what your understanding of it really is. It'll help you gauge what you know and what you don't quite know yet either. And finally, we've got tip 4. Now this is something that seems simple, but sometimes one might not actually consider it until it's presented. If you haven't noticed it, drawing examples litter my work because that's what I grew into. As a hound with many different wants, I came into art studies wanting to do more than just drawing, and step 4 is a testament to that. Try branching out every once in a while. I can't tell you how many art blocks I've had. I once had a whole semester where drawing was hard and I didn't feel proud of anything I made. I then got into printmaking, and I found I absolutely loved it. Now you don't have to do that of course, but adding to your routine or changing it up really helps. Not liking how a pencil sketch is coming out? Draw it in pen and see how it comes out then. Does a piece still feel empty? Try adding some watercolor paint or maybe a marker. There are many different options to shake up your production, and if you want to drop something altogether, move to another medium. You'll get better, and you could probably take what you've learned and apply it to what you enjoy more in another medium. You never know. And for now, that's pretty much it. 4 tips that'll help you get better at art, hopefully. I use these tips all the time, especially if I'm trying to get better or if I want to give it to somebody else who might be struggling too. If you like videos like this, consider giving it a like, and share this with someone else who might be an artist, or someone who could just use the advice. If you have a suggestion on what I should talk about next, leave a comment down below and I'll consider doing something like that. If you'd like to see more of my videos, consider subscribing and have a look at some of my other videos I've worked on. I'd really appreciate it. With that, I'm off. I've got more videos to make and more things to do. I'll be seeing you all later. Take care everybody. NoodleDog out.